Hello. It is Dr. Askkrystalracquel, and I am back again with a video for today. I hope you all are doing amazingly. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. You can also send me an email at askkrystalracquel@gmail.com if you have any questions that you would love to see me answer on a YouTube video. So I have a video topic for you all today. You all know what it is. So it is going to be Proverbs 26 and 27 today. We're on our first day of our 3-day fast for the last 3 days of 2024 and the last 3 days of December. So let's make sure we're focused. We're praying on those things that we've asked the Lord to do into the end of this year, into the beginning of the start of January. Make sure you're praying consistently. The fast for me is until 12 p.m. each day. I'm a breastfeeding mother, but you can also do 12 if that's the easiest for you, depending on what type of work that you do. You can go till 3 or 6 p.m. as well, or if you want to just do a straight fast, but make sure that you're sticking to what you decided at the start of the fast. So if you're just seeing this now for the first time and you're going to do it for just 2 days, meaning the 30th and 31st, decide what you want to do. Pick those 3 things you're going to be praying for the Lord to do and focus on Him, and then stick to the hours for your fast that you decided on from today. So let's get started. We are in the New King James Version of the Bible, which is my favorite. Let's get into Proverbs 26 and 27. So there's no titles for these chapters. So chapter 26 has 28 verses and 27 has 27 verses. So here we go. As snow in summer and rain in harvest, so honor is not fitting for a fool. Like a flitting sparrow, like a flying swallow, so a curse without cause shall not alight. So people can put curses on you, right? But if it's not fitting for you, it's not going to touch you. So don't ever be scared of someone who's putting word curses on you, or even doing something as horrible as voodoo or So a whip for the horse, a bridle for the donkey, and a rod for the fool's back. Do not answer a fool according to his folly, lest you also be like him. So, it's saying a whip for a horse, whip, the bridle for the donkey, and a rod for the fool's back. So it's saying, pretty much they're equating a fool's back or a fool to an animal that you use training on. And it's saying somebody's foolish, do not even respond to them. You're going to become like them. You don't want to fall into that trap. It says, answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own eyes. So if you stoop down to the fool's level, then he's going to think that, he is wise. He who sends a message by the hand of a fool cuts off his own feet and drinks violence. So it's saying that, don't ever try to tell somebody who you know is a fool to go do something on your behalf. It's not going to work out, and then you're pretty much silly to do so because you already know that person's a fool. They're going to trust them to do something that's important. Absolutely not. Like the legs of the lame that hang limp is a proverb in the mouth of fools. So it's like these proverbs that we're reading, it's absolutely worth nothing if it's coming from a fool's mouth, because they don't even know what it means, or if they even have access to what it means, they'll twist it in some other way. Like one who binds a stone to a sling is he who gives honor to a fool. Okay, so let me just make sure I read that correctly. Like one who binds a stone in a sling is he who gives honor to a fool. Like a thorn that goes into the hand of a drunkard is a proverb in the mouth of fools. So it's just talking about some things that aren't good and what it's like if a fool has access to it. So you shouldn't be giving honor to fools, and you shouldn't be fools shouldn't even be speaking proverbs, especially because they don't know what it means, or don't waste your time even reciting proverbs to people who are fools. So this is a very heavy and important chapter, like all of the Proverbs chapters. Let's see. The great God who formed everything gives the fool his hire and the transgressor his wages. So you're going to be dealt the correct consequence of what you've done. So if you're living your life foolishly, if you're doing bad things, sinning, God is going to reward you according to those things, which is not going to be good. As a dog returns, I love this verse here. As a dog returns to his vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. So the same way dogs will go back and eat things that they've thrown up is the same way that fools will continue to do foolish things, unfortunately. Do you see a man wise in his own eyes? There is more hope for a fool than for him. So it's pretty much even saying that if a man thinks that he's so wise, that he's honestly essentially foolish, because there's always more to learn. The lazy man says, there is a lion in the road. A fierce lion is in the streets. So that's saying instead of doing something about it, instead of running, a fool or somebody who's lazy, a lazy man is going to be saying, oh, look, there's a lion. Oh, there's there's lying in the road in the streets. And I think this is repeated because there was something similar before in one of the other previous chapters. As a door turns on its hinges, so does the lazy man on his bed. The lazy man buries his hand in the bowl. It wearies him to bring it back to his mouth. This is also repeated. So saying a lazy man, he's so lazy that he can't even, he puts his face into his bowl like you would see your animal, or like I just saw my cat do when I fed her dinner. They just bury their face in their food. They can't even lift their hand up to their mouth or their spoon. The lazy man is saying, well, it said it wearies him to bring it back to his mouth. So it makes him so tired to put his hand to his mouth. He has to put his face into his bowl. The lazy man is wiser in his own eyes than 7 men who can answer sensibly. So a lazy man thinks he's so wise compared to 7 other men who are way more wise than he. He who passes by and meddles in a quarrel not his own is like one who takes a dog by the ears. That is good. That is good. That's saying, stay out of people's business. Do not, if there's a fight going on, an argument, mind your business. If it does not pertain to you, it's not your business, stay out of it, because it's saying that is like taking a dog by his ear. If you pull a dog by his ear, he's going to bite you. Taking his ear is not going to do anything. So that's saying stay out of people's business, because those people are going to turn on you. That was a beautiful proverb. I'm going to hold on to that one. Like, I should be holding on to all of these, and we should be making sure that these are all inscribed in our hearts. But just specifically, that I just love the way the Proverbs are written. It gives you a really good imagery, and it really makes it easy to remember them and also stay ingrained in your mind and your heart. Like a madman who throws firebrands, arrows, and death is the man who deceives his neighbor and says, I was only joking. So I talked about this before, how there was a point in time where I would like do jokes. Like jokes, honestly, when you do certain jokes like that can like affect people, make them sad, make them scared, make them nervous. That is actually like you're lying. So I definitely relate to this, because it's not good to do. And I don't really do jokes on people, even if it's just like trick somebody. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not good, because the person feels bad. So how is that really a joke? So so that's a good one. Remember that. Like a madman who throws firebrands, arrows, and deaths, like a crazy person who's like doing all these crazy things, trying to harm people violently, is the man who deceives his neighbor and says, I was only joking. So I know it says deceiving, but I relate that to like jokes and stuff too, because it's like you're tricking people for fun. Where there is no wood, the fire goes out. And where there is no talebearer, strife ceases. So where there's no wood, so we're saying if there's no wood, then you can't have a fire for the most part, right? And a talebearer is somebody who's lying and gossiping. When there's no gossiper, there's no strife. So there's nobody who's going around telling people, oh, this person said this is this. The strife disappears when those people are no longer around. As charcoal is to burning coals and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife. Wow. So charcoal is to burning coals. So charcoal, burning coals. Wood is what you use for fire. So a man who is contentious is going to always have strife around him. He loves it. The words of a talebearer, like I said, somebody who's lying and gossiping, are like tasty trifles, and they go down into the inmost body. So a lot of people, they like to hear from gossipers, but be careful, that's not good. It's very bad. Fervent lips with a wicked heart are like earthenware covered with silver dross. That's basically saying, somebody who loves to talk and has a wicked heart is the same way you'd have like earthenware. I believe that's something that's like something that's valuable, but then it's covered in things that aren't valuable, the things that you would want to take out of quality metal. He who hates disguises it with his lips and lays up deceit within himself. So there's people who really are filled with hate and they hide it very well. When he speaks kindly, do not believe him, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. So there's people who they are acting like they're for you and they're really not. And they have so many different things inside of them. 7 abominations, I'm taking that to mean demonic things, whether it's sins or actual demons. All right, and then here we go. We just have 3 more verses. Though his hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness will be revealed before the assembly. So eventually, that deceit that he has inside of him, it's going to be revealed and uncovered. Whoever digs a pit will fall into it, and he who rolls a stone will have it roll back on him. So people who are trying to set up traps for people, they're going to be trapped by those same traps that they are devising. And then the last verse of chapter 26, a lying tongue hates those who are crushed by it, and a flattering mouth works ruin. So be careful, people who are lying. That was a wonderful chapter. Let's go on to the next one. That one is talking a lot about fools and people who practice a lot of deception. All right, and then on to chapter 27. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring forth. So don't be boasting for what you think is going to happen, because things can change in an instant. So do not be trying to boast of tomorrow. Let another man praise you, and not your own mouth, a stranger and not your own lips. A stone is heavy and sand is weighty, but a fool's wrath is heavier than both of them. So a fool, don't mess with fools, okay? Because they're foolish people, their wrath is ridiculous. It's essentially what this is saying. And I love the way this version uses the word weighty, because if you're from the Caribbean or Jamaica specifically, weighty is a word that we use. And obviously the King James Version is from original English, England, and all those things. And that is where a lot of the Jamaican English that we use is derived from. Wrath is cruel and anger a torrent, but who was able to stand before jealousy? So jealousy is there. It's gonna be hard for you to get away from somebody who's jealous. Open rebuke is better than love carefully concealed. Keep that in mind. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. Those 2 verses are wonderful. So it's saying it's way better to be rebuked openly, somebody to tell you something that's not going well for you, not good, than for someone to love you and hide it and not say it at all. And then it says, faithful are the wounds of a friend. So if someone is your friend, they're going to tell you the truth. But there are people who will lie and say good things to you and flatter you. But the Lord prefers the former. So it's better. Your friend is going to tell you the truth, in love. And there are people who are flattering you, and they don't love you. They have hatred in their hearts for you. So be careful of those people. A satisfied soul loathes the honeycomb, but to a hungry soul, every bitter thing is sweet. Like a bird who wanders from its nest is a man who wanders from his place. Ointment and perfume delight the heart, and the sweetness of a man's friend gives delight by hearty counsel. Do not forsake your own friend or your father's friend, nor go to your brother's house in the day of your calamity. Better is a neighbor nearby than a brother far away. So that's very important. So it's saying focus on the people that are near you. Sometimes people who may not be of kin, you can still get counsel or seek help from them about certain things if you're in need, than having to go far away for somebody who is, I guess, related to you by blood. My son, be wise and make my heart glad, that I may answer him who reproaches me. A prudent man foresees evil and hides himself. The simple pass on and are punished. So there's people who, like what they described before with the lion, the fool who and the lion. That's essentially what they're describing again. But they're talking about the man who's wise now. You see bad coming up, you foresee what's going to come and you run. But if you're a fool, you may see what's going to come and you still go on, or you may not even see what's about to come. Take the garment of him who is surety for a stranger, and hold it in pledge when he is surety for a seductress. He who blesses his friend with a loud voice, rising early in the morning, it will be counted a curse to him. That's very interesting. A continual dripping on a very rainy day and a contentious woman are alike. So let's say it's raining really hard and then it just keeps raining, it doesn't stop. That's what a contentious woman is like, according to this Bible, or the Bible. And let's see. Whoever restrains her restrains the wind and grasps the oil with his right hand. So it's like you can't stop a contentious woman. As iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens his countenance of his friend. So that's why you have to be careful of who's around you, because you're going to be influenced by the people you keep close to you, in a good way or a bad way. Whoever keeps the fig tree will eat its fruit, so he who waits on his master will be honored. So don't try to circumvent, supersede, go over the authority of your master, your leader, your boss. As in water, face reflects face, so a man's heart reveals the man. So just the same when you look into your reflection in the water or a mirror, that is exactly how a man's heart reveals who he is. So you know what's in your heart. God knows what's in your heart. Whatever is in your heart, that is who you are. Hell and destruction are never full. And there's some footnotes here. So for hell, we have Sheol. And for destruction, we have Abaddon. So hell and destruction are never full. So the eyes of men are never satisfied. The refining pot is for silver and the furnace for gold. And a man is valued by what others say of him. So if people are saying bad things about you, that may reflect... If most people are saying bad things about you, that may reflect who you are. Though you grind a fool in a mortar, you know what a mortar is, and a pestle along with crushed grain, yet his foolishness will not depart from him. So you know those things that you used to grind, and you have like the little wooden bowl or stone bowl, and then you have the little stone thing that you kind of mash. It's like a cylinder. That's kind of what it's saying. You can pound it out as much as you can, but the foolishness will never leave that fool. Okay. Be diligent to know the state of your flocks and attend to your herds. Ooh. Someone just kicked my stand. Okay, so be diligent to know the state of your flocks and attend to your herds. For riches are not forever, nor does a crown endure to all generations. So it's saying, don't just think everything's all good. Make sure you're checking up on things that need to be checked up on, whether it's in your home, your work, or anything. Because nothing is promised, or tomorrow's not promised. When the hay is removed and the tender grass shows itself, and the herbs of the mountains are gathered in, the lambs will provide your clothing, and the goats the price of a field. You shall have enough goat's milk for your food, for the food of your household, and the nourishment of your maidservants. So It's saying make sure you are very careful of what's going on around you, work, home, so then that way you can prepare for the future. You're going to have stuff prepped and maybe even into the next generation. So thank you so much for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed this teaching. I definitely loved going into depth about these particular chapters. We will be back again tomorrow. We're going to do chapters 28 and 29 of Proverbs. And for the 31st, we're going to do chapters 30 and 31, which is partially about the Proverbs 31 woman. So have an amazing, blessed day and keep striving. Make sure you are preparing to complete this fast as we end 2024 strong. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.